To Sherlock Holmes, she is always
the woman.
It's not that he felt any emotion akin to love for Irene Adler.
Ah!
All emotions, and that one especially, were abhorrent to his cold, precise, but admirably balanced mind. And yet for him there was one woman, and that woman was the late Irene Adler, of dubious and questionable memory. I haven't seen much of Holmes recently. A marriage had drawn us apart. It was on one night, on the 20th of March, 1888. I was on the way home after seeing a patient when my way led me through Baker Street. As I passed that well-remembered door, I was seized with a desire to see Holmes again and how he was using his amazing powers. I knocked on the door and was shown up to the chamber that had in part once been mine own.
Wedlock suits you, Watson. I think you've gained 7.5 pounds since I last saw you.
7!
I should think a trifle more. And back in the practice, I see.
How do you know?
If a gentleman enters my room smelling of iodoform and wearing a black mark of nitrate of silver upon his right forefinger, and a bulge in the top of his right hat where he secretes his stethoscope, I should be dull indeed if I did not declare him to be an active member of the medical profession.
You give your reasons. It all seems remarkably simple. Yet these successive instances of your reasoning, I am baffled until you explain your processes. I mean, my art is as good as yours.
Indeed they are, Watson. You see, but you do not observe. By the way, since you're interested in these little problems, you may be interested in this one. It came by the last post.
The note was undated and had neither address nor signature. There will call upon you tonight at 7:45, it said, a gentleman who desires
to consult you in a matter of the greatest importance. Your recent service to one of the royal houses of Europe has shown that you are a person who can be trusted in a matter that is such of importance that cannot be exaggerated. This account of you we have from all quarters received. Be then in your house at that time, and do not take it amiss if your visitor there a mass.
What do you deduce from that?
The writer must be well to do. Such paper could not be had for under half a crown a packet. It is peculiarly strong and stiff.
Peculiar. That's the very word. But it's not an English paper at all. Hold it up to the light.
There's a watermark, a large E, a small G, a P, a large G, and a T woven into the fabric of the paper.
What do you make of that?
The name of a writer, no doubt, or his monogram.
Oh, no, not at all. The G and the T stand for Gesellschaft, which is the German for company. It's a customary contraction, rather like our CO. And this note had to be written by a German. We have from all quarters received. A Frenchman or Russian could not have written that. It only remains, therefore, for us to discover what was wanted by this German who prefers wearing a mask to showing his face. And here he comes now, if I'm not mistaken, to resolve all our doubts.
I'd better go, Holmes.
Oh, no. Stay where you are. I'm quite lost without my Boswell. And this proves to be quite an interesting case. It would be a pity to miss it.
I had planned.
Oh, never mind about him. He may need your help, and so might I. Stay where you are, Doctor, and give us your best attention. Come in.
A man entered whose dress conveyed the impression of barbaric opulence, whose richness would in England be considered bad taste. He wore, on the upper part of his face, extending down past his cheekbone, a black vizard mask.
You got my note?
I have.
You may address me as the Count von Cranmer. I understand this gentleman, your friend, is a man of honour and discretion, who can be trusted with the utmost secrecy.
You may say anything before this gentleman you may say to me.
I will then bind you both to absolute secrecy for 2 years. After that time, the matter will be of no importance. At present, it is not too much to say that it holds such weight that it will interfere with the whole of European history.
I promise.
And I.
You may excuse this mask. The august person who sent me does not want his agent to be known to you. I must also confess that the title I have just given me is not my own.
I was aware of that. If your Majesty would condescend to state his case, I should be better able to advise you. Your Majesty had not spoken before I was aware that I was addressing Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein, Grand Duke of Kassel-Felstein and hereditary King of Bohemia.
You're right. I am the king. Why should I conceal it?
Why indeed?
You must understand that I am not accustomed to doing such business in my own person. I come incognito in order to consult with you.
Then pray consult.
5 years ago, during a lengthy stay in Warsaw, I made acquaintance with the well-known adventuress Irene Adler. You may be aware of her name.
Yes.
By reputation only.
As I understand it, your Majesty became entangled with this young person and wrote her some rather compromising letters. You're now desirous of getting these letters back.
Precisely, but how?
Oh, was there a secret marriage?
Certainly not.
No legal papers or documents?
Nothing at all. I may have made some intemperate remarks verbally, but...
I fail to follow your Majesty. If this young person should produce the letter with a view to blackmail or other purposes, how is she to prove their authenticity?
But there's the writing.
Oh, forgery.
My private notepaper.
Stolen.
My own seal.
Imitated.
The photographs.
Bought.
We are both in the photographs.
Oh dear. That is very bad. Your Majesty has indeed committed an indiscretion.
I was mad, insane.
You have compromised yourself seriously.
But I was just a crown prince then. I was young. I am but 30 now.
It must be recovered.
We have tried and failed.
Your Majesty must pay. It must be bought.
She will not sell.
Stolen then.
5 attempts we have made. Twice burglars in my employ have ransacked her room. Once her luggage was diverted when she was travelling. Twice she's been valeted with no result.
No sign of it?
Absolutely not.
It's a pretty little problem.
Yes, but a very serious one to me.
Very indeed. What does she propose to do with this photograph?
To ruin me.
How?
I am to be married
Oh, so I've heard.
to Clotilde van Sexteringen, the second daughter of the King of Scandinavia. You may have heard of the family's strict principles. She herself is the soul of delicacy. Any shadow of doubt over to my conduct, the matter will be at an end.
And what of Irene Adler?
She threatens to send a photograph, and she will do it. I know she will do it. You do not know her. She has the soul of steel. She has the face of the most beautiful woman and the mind of the most resentful of men. It is a wonder that a woman in her experience does not have had more understanding in my position.
And you're quite sure she hasn't sent it yet?
I am sure.
How?
Because she said she will send it on when the betrothal is publicly proclaimed, which is next Monday.
Oh, that's very fortunate. We have 3 days. That's good, because I have 1 or 2 matters of importance to deal with at the moment. Your Majesty will stay in London for the present?
You will find me at the Langham under the name of the Count von Kran.
Then I shall send you a note to let you know how we progress.
Pray do so. I shall await with all anxiety.
Then, as to money?
You have camp lunch.
Absolutely.
I tell you, I would give one of my provinces of my kingdom for that photograph.
And for present expenses?
You have £300 in gold and 700 in notes.
And what is Mamselle's address?
Bridie Lodge, Serpentine Avenue, St John's Wood.
One more question. What are the dimensions of this photograph?
About so.
Mounted?
On stiff paper.
Precisely. Then good night, Your Majesty, and I hope to have some good news for you soon. And good night to you too, Watson. I'd be grateful if you would call on me at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I would very much like to chat this matter over with you. I left the house early the next morning in the guise of a groom out of work. I soon found Bridie Lodge, and I hung around down the street and helped the hostlers rub down the horses, for which I received twopence, a glass of half and half, 2 fills of shake tobacco, and as much information as I could desire.
And what of Irene Adler?
The prettiest thing under a bonnet, so they all said, to a man. She leads a very quiet life, drives out at 5 every day when she's singing at concerts, comes home at 7 sharp every evening for dinner. Seldom goes out at other times except when she sings. She has one male visitor, a Godfrey Norton Jr. of the Inner Temple. I learned that he was the son of a prominent lawyer. That sounded ominous. I was balancing the matter over in my mind when a handsome cab drove up to Bridie Lodge, and out jumped a well-attired young gentleman, Godfrey Norton Jr. himself. There could be no doubt. I saw him through the window into the sitting room, talking excitedly, waving his arms backwards and forwards. Miss Irene listened calmly, her lovely face showing nothing more than a slight hint of amusement.
I say, you there! Taxi! Drive like the devil. First to Gross and Hankey in Regent Street, then to the Church of St. Monica on Edgware Road. Half a guinea if you do it in 20 minutes.
Gross and Hankey, the company that employed the elder Godfrey Norton, and possibly the hiding place of the photograph. This was too good to lose, Watson.
Taxi! The Church of St. Monica, and half a sovereign if you reach there in 20 minutes.
But this was even better. I jumped on the back of the cab and held on as it raced and bumped its way to the Church of St. Monica.
Heavens, Holmes, you could have been killed.
Oh, not a mode of transport I recommend, Watson. But it was clear that what was in the wind.
Really? What?
Oh, all in good time, Watson, all in good time. I arrived at the church at 11:51 by my watch. I waited precisely 2 minutes before entering. Every inch of the derelict ostler covered in dust. There was no one there except the 2 people I'd followed and a clergyman, all 3 standing in a knot in front of the altar.
I say, you there! What, by Jove, what a bit of luck to find you here.
Begging your pardon, Governor, I means no harm. I just...
Right. Look, that lady and I, the law require... How would you like to earn half a sovereign?
What I have to do for it?
Oh, do not be alarmed, sir. Simply put, this gentleman and I would be grateful to you if you would be a witness at our wedding.
What, you and him?
Yes, we're eloping. Isn't it just awful? But the thing, but you see, there is a time element, don't you know? So why don't we just launch right into it,
Dearly beloved.
Thus I assisted in the secure tying up of Irene Adler Spinster and Godfrey Norton Jr. Bachelor.
Say yes.
Yes. And what do you make of the haste in this matter, Watson?
Yes, it did strike me. You arrived at the church at 11:51.
State your name.
Nigel Smith.
and you entered the church 11:53. The law requires that marriages are completed by noon.
Quite so. So why today? Why not wait until tomorrow?
I don't know.
But soon you shall know all. I shall want your cooperation, Watson. You
I-
don't mind breaking the law
Well,
and possibly risking arrest? It's for an excellent cause, I assure you.
then I'm your man.
I knew I could rely on you.
What do you want me to do?
You are to arrive at Bryony Lodge and be there when Miss Irene arrives.
And
Miss Irene, Madam rather, will be there at 7 o'clock as usual. Make sure you're there when she arrives.
what then?
Oh, do nothing. There'll be some unpleasantness, but do not join in. It will result in me being conveyed into the house. You are to station yourself by the sitting room window and watch me.
Yes.
When I raise my hand, thus, you are to throw this through the window into the room, and at the same time raise the cry of fire.
I say, Holmes.
Oh, it's nothing very formidable. A plumber's smoke rocket fitted at both ends with a tap to make it self-lighting.
It does seem rather
The
extreme.
cause, Watson, the cause.
You can rely on me, absolutely.
I didn't deny it.
I left Baker Street at 6:15, and it wanted 10 minutes to the hour when I arrived at the entrance to Bryony Lodge. At 7 p.m. precisely, a cab drew up at Bryony Lodge, and the former Miss Irene Adler emerged, only to be surrounded immediately by the most unsavoury characters.
Allow me to escort you inside, my lady.
No, allow me.
Lady Ruffins,
My instincts urged me to assist my friend, but I remembered Holmes's instructions and held my hand.
Oh, my brave fellow, will you hurt?
It's but a trifle, my lady. I'd wish much more to save you from the likes of them.
Oh, I cannot leave you to lie in the street. Oh, come inside, I implore you. Oh,
I've never been so ashamed of myself in all my life when I saw the grace and kindness with which that beautiful creature assisted my injured friend. And yet it will be the blackest treachery to draw back now. So I hardened my heart and took my smoke bomb in my hand.
well, a very good witness to my marriage this morning, you know.
Oh, ma'am, I am that. Nigel Smith at your service. I come by in the hopes that you might honour me with some job or work, if you'll pardon me effrontery.
Oh, not at all. You were so brave to come to my defence. I may indeed have a job for you.
It's all right, ma'am. I'd do anything to save you from the likes of them. I heard them say as you had something they wanted to take from you.
Oh, that. Yes.
Well, ma'am, it's been a privilege to be of service to a great lady like yourself.
Oh, not such a great lady. My father was a blacksmith. I have groomed horses myself. I wouldn't be doing so today had I been born a male. But I was expected to marry a local boy. A fate I was forced to flee.
Well, you seem to have married well after all, if I may say so.
Have I? I would have hoped had I married at all for it to be somebody more my equal intellectually. Or a king, perhaps?
Oh, a king, my lady jokes.
Mr. Smith, I do have a job for you as it happens. I will pay you 2 gold sovereigns.
Oh, I'd be honoured, ma'am, honoured.
Good. Then take this parcel. I bid you hold it close to you. Neither open it nor try to discover its contents. You are to take it to the river, to the deepest, remotest part of the river, and throw it in, what it sinks to the bottom. Can you do that?
I can.
The contents of this parcel have meant only pain and degradation to me. It is a memento of a man who held my cart captive for 2 years, only to cast it aside when it ceased to be convenient. Oh, take it, I pray you. What was that? Did you not hear it? Something stirred outside the window.
I heard nothing.
There is someone there. Those villains who would rob me. Oh, protect me from them, I beg you.
Really, Miss Adler, I don't think you need protection from me, nor from any man.
Then I do have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Indeed you do, and the pleasure is all mine. May I ask how you saw through my disguise?
Oh, intuition, nothing more. The instincts of a blacksmith's daughter. But how did you know I knew?
Deduction, nothing less. A practical lady like yourself would hardly entrust to a stranger that which she could easily destroy herself.
And your friend?
Oh, yes, Watson. Watson, come to the window, dear fellow. This is my good friend and invaluable chronicler, Dr. John Watson.
Delighted to make your acquaintance, Mrs. Norton.
Gentlemen, you may take this to your client and tell him I have no further need of it. I am loved by a better man than he, and I shall trouble him no more.
Is it true what the note said? You have the photograph?
I have indeed.
Oh, you are a phenomenon, sir. After all my failed attempts, however did you get it from her?
I managed to get my way into her home with the help of Confederates.
Oh, the men who attacked you.
Precisely. Dr. Watson and I came prepared for desperate measures, but then I persuaded her to give it to me.
What of the hasty marriage, Holmes? That continues to puzzle me.
Marriage? The lady is married?
Indeed she is, to an Englishman, Godfrey Norton Jr., and the haste was in expectation of the arrival of Godfrey Norton Sr., who was unlikely to approve.
But she could not love him.
Oh, we must hope she does, for it would spare your majesty all fear of future annoyance.
Yes, it is, sir. But such a pity she wasn't of my station. What a queen she would have made. But this is not a photograph.
What?
It is but a theatrical photograph of Irene on her own. And here's a letter, addressed to you, sir.
My dear Mr. Sherlock Holmes, when you read this message, I will be on a ship bound to the continent. I pray you will forgive me this latest deception, but I could not, in conscience, let the item you sought in the hands of the one who so grievously wronged me, and may even use it against me some day.
I would never.
You may rest easily. I'm a married woman now, and I have no desire for my husband or his family to learn of my prior entanglements. I had been warned of the King's arrival in England, Mr. Holmes, and that he would likely engage your services, and so I prepared my defence, including this letter, in anticipation of our meeting, which has now transpired as you are reading it, but which, at this writing, I await with sincerest eagerness and excitement. I remain your admiring servant, Irene Norton,
née
Adler.
What a woman! What a woman! Would she not have made an admirable queen? It was a pity she was not on my level.
What a pity indeed. I'm sorry I could not have brought your majesty's business to a more successful conclusion.
Not at all, my dear sir. Nothing could be more satisfactory. This photo is as good as if it were in the fire.
And that was how a great scandal was averted, and how the best plans of Mr. Sherlock Holmes were beaten by the wit of a woman. Holmes did indeed attach the sovereign to his watch chain, and I have seen him gaze upon it on occasion, with little pleasure, I think. And when he speaks of Irene Adler, it is always under the honourable title of
The woman.